absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when.
Like, even if I don't like him that much, I want him to be, like, downright, absolutely, tremendously down bad over me. Like, I don't care.
And I said to him, well, maybe some marriages aren't meant to last. And he got so mad at me for saying that. But he didn't stop playing video games to have the conversation with me.
Real spicy. Back with more clips. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it.
Hey, but this better be good, god damn it!
Woman logic is that although I don't want to date him, I want him to want to date me. Like, even if I don't like him that much, I want him to be, like, downright, absolutely, tremendously down bad over me. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna need him to want to get on one knee, and I wouldn't say yes, but I'm gonna need him to do that. This is so psychotic.
Definitely many women who subscribe to this one. The need for a guy to be obsessed, only to cast him aside when he's no longer needed, right? But then there's a fine line of being a creep and doing too much.
I can remember when I told my ex-husband I wanted a divorce. It was December 2019. I remember very clearly having yet another talk with him about how unhappy I was. But this particular conversation, he was in his man cave room playing video games, which was like his favorite activity. And I go walking in and I tell him, like, I really want to talk about our marriage. Like, I'm not happy. It feels like we're roommates at this point and I don't really have a partner, blah, blah, blah. This man was wearing his headphones because he was playing with a friend and they, like, talked to each other. He didn't even take his headphones off. He just pulled it off his right ear. This is almost 4 years ago now. I can still remember he pulled it off his right ear. And he didn't pause the game or stop playing. He continued to play a video game while his wife was standing in front of him, telling him how unhappy she was in the marriage. And I remember when he said to me something about, like, marriage being forever and whatever. And I said to him, well, maybe some marriages aren't meant to last. And he got so mad at me for saying that. But he didn't stop playing video games to have the conversation with me.
I'm just wondering what she expected. You know, what did you expect? You can't expect to use the threat of divorce or separation as a way to control shit. You know, especially if it's for your own ego. It's just for yourself. It's not something that's pushing you guys both forward. You know, you're just using it to get your way. I'm wondering why even wait until he's doing his thing, right? Whether it be playing the games or enjoying whatever activity. Why wait to bring this up at that point in time? I think many of us know why, right? Like, this is just what she does, you know. He probably peeped that you're just looking to play games, mind games, and he's getting tired of that. This is how many women can burn guys out on both ends, right? He's being a provider, he's doing what he needs to do, but that's just not enough. You know, these are the types that know they're annoying, you know, like for no reason other than they can't just be happy. There's always a complaint, always some kind of problem. And then you throw in a real flair for the dramatic and you got fireworks. And not the kind that you really want. And instead of working on those issues that make guys want to go into his man cave, right, and be away from her, she gets hyper-focused and fixates on her being annoyed that he seeks passion to unwind, right, and do things that give him peace, doing activities without her. And you know, maybe it's just self-sabotage, man. And I really gotta ask, right, like, as a woman, has she ever thought about why he seeks peace away from her?
I absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when. I thought, you know, when I'm 40, maybe I'd get that title. Maybe then I'd earned it, you know, 10 years down the track. Because I think 10 years in a marriage, that's a pretty good innings in this day and age. That's like a good run. Turns out it was just a 3. In the end, that's all we kind of reached our limit with. But, you know, still got the title in the end. And obviously I don't want to get married ever again. However, double divorcee is a term that I'm living for. Like, that is cunt, isn't it? Oh yeah, I'm a double divorcee. Bitch, what? That's Slayana. Almost would be worth getting married again for. But as I said, I'm not going to get married again unless it's someone with terrible health, no living other relatives, and a lot of money. In which case, inquire within.
There's gotta be a skit, right? But you gotta admit, this can accurately depict a lot of women's approach. You know, at the end of the day, they just want the title just to get it out of the way. There's a social status achievement amongst her peers. So she'll take the title of marriage, right? She might even try it out. All the while they expect the worst. Definitely don't want to be a wife. And for many of them, it's all a game. But yes sir, it's about that time. Comment your thoughts down below. Like, share, subscribe. Really appreciate you for watching. This is EK Real Spicy signing out. And I'm going to check y'all in the next video. And like that, be easy. Gone.